Okay, good evening. Hello, everyone. In today's class, we are going to talk about second conditional. We are going to learn some sentences and learn about this structure. So, our group is formed by Kayla, Jorge Luis Mendoza, Lina María, y Jessica Paola. Please, the next one. Okay, we have learning objectives. We are going to understand the concept of conditional sentences, explore the different types of conditional sentences, learn about the structure and formation of conditional sentences, especially the second conditional, and identify common usage patterns and examples. The next one, please. Okay, what are conditional sentences? Conditional sentences express hypothetical or unreal situation and the consequences that will occur under certain conditions. For example, if it rains tomorrow, we will cancel the picnic. The next one, please. Before start, we are going to watch a short video. It's a child song that is about hypothetical situation. Excuse me, I cannot hear the video. Jessica,
¿Ahí lo están viendo? I
Yes,
can watch.
but you have to start the screen with the sound. Tienes que dejar de compartir y volver a compartir y darle donde dice compartir con sonido.
okay, I'm going to explain a little bit more. This video shows some hypothetical situations. For example, what would you do if you were a caterpillar? What would you do if you were a butterfly? And so, and different actions that will follow the idea. ¿No, Jessica?
No, no puede proyectar el video. Espérenme, confirma. ¿Ahí pueden verlo?
Pero no escucharlo. Venga, lo comparto yo. Déjame compartir.
Listo, ya, pero retiro.
Already? Can you watch the screen?
YouTube.
Yeah.
Already?
Yes.
Okay. Please pay attention to this video and its situations.
Ping pong. If I were a bug, it'd be so fun. Ooh, 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 ooh. nectar with my straw.
If I were a caterpillar, I'd chew all the fresh leaves. If I were a dung beetle, I'd be the best soccer player.
If I were a water strider, I'd be a windsurfer. Woohoo! Yeah! If I were a cricket, I'd chirp real loud and serenade.
If I were a cicada, I'd sing the loudest of all males.
Ready?
Oh,
Okay. Give me a moment, please. Okay. So let's continue. We are going to answer these questions before start the grammar explanation, right? So I'm going to ask you something and you have to answer, right? Whatever actions that you imagine or whatever action that you think that you will do if you were a bug. Or if you were, I don't know, another person. For example, what would you do if you were a girl? Does, mm, does anybody want to help me with this question, please? What would you do if you were a girl? Hmm. Anybody that wants to participate? Maybe Claudia, Claudia Lizeth Vargas. Ah, Dani. Are you there? What about Brian? What would you do if you were a girl?
Hello, disculpa, ¿no puedo escuchar lo que me estás preguntando?
Okay. Okay, I'm going to repeat. What would you do if you were a girl? Can you watch the screen right now? Camila, go ahead. Don't be shy.
Okay, me.
Honey, go ahead.
If I were a man, because I a girl, no?
Okay, you're already a girl, right?
If I were a man, I don't know, I will have three girlfriends at the same time.
Okay, that's a good example. Another person? Okay, let's continue. Move on. What would you do if you were a soldier? What would you do if you were a soldier? Hmm. Any idea? Does someone have any idea about it? Ana Sofia.
Okay, if I were a soldier, I will, I don't know, maybe I will train every day and
Mhm.
became more healthy and have big muscles.
Okay, pretty fun. Excellent. Let's move on.
If I
Yes.
become a soldier, okay.
Mhm.
Come go.
Okay, no, 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 no. Go on, go on.
I become a soldier. I will go to war.
Okay, yes.
See?
Okay, yes. Pretty accurate. Okay, okay, guys. What would you do if you were a fairy? A fairy. Maybe.
Me. Okay.
Okay, Dani.
If I were a fairy, I will. Ay, ¿cómo se decía hechizar? Big witch, big witch. I will big
Mhm.
witch everyone to always tell the truth.
Okay, to give them a spell. Anybody else? Camila, Ana Sofia, maybe Brian again.
Yo. If I become a fair, I will fly through the skies.
Mhm. Excellent. Without magic stick, I don't know, with beautiful dress. Very beautiful. What would you do if you became a fisherman? What would you do if you became into a fisherman? Because I know that you are starting right now to be or to become into a teacher, right? But what would you do if you became into a fisherman? Or if you were a fisherman?
Can I
Danny, don't be shy.
participate? Okay.
Ah, okay, Brian, go
If
ahead.
I'm a fisherman, I will sail the seas.
Okay, sail the seas. Excellent example. Another one
Okay. If I were a fisherman, I will learn to swim.
to swim. Excellent. That's hilarious. The fisherman doesn't know how to swim. Okay. And what would you do if you became into a bird? Or what would you do if you were a bird? A tweet tweet, a tweet tweet. Jessica.
If I
Jessica.
were a bird, I will eat bugs.
Bugs. Excellent. Delicious. Doesn't it? Anybody else? Cynthia. Or Danny.
If
Go ahead.
Hello.
Hello, Cynthia. Okay, me. If I were a bear, I will fly all over the world.
All over the world. Excellent. And
Can I participate?
well, oh, who's talking right now? Okay, go ahead. We want to listen to
So,
you.
if I become a bear, I will eat worm and fruits.
Excellent. Maybe a worm will be delicious for you. We don't know. But let's move on, guys. We are going to talk about second conditional structures, and thank you very much for your participation. You were so activate into this speaking short warm-up. Jorge.
Hello everyone. Okay, I'm Jorge. Right now I'm going to explain you all about the structure, the uses, some important tips about the second conditional sense. Okay, the first I'm going to explain you when we use the second conditional tense. We have to know that we use this tense when we want to express hypothetical or imaginary situations that are unlikely to happen. I don't know if you know what is unlikely. This is when something is not probable to happen, that is not going to happen. And it could be used when we want to express a hypothetical situation in present or in a future time. Yeah. Okay, right now I'm going to, for example, here we have an example that is, if I won the lottery, I will travel around the world. This is a hypothetical situation because you know that it's unlikely to win the lottery. It is not going to happen in a either way. Okay, now I'm going to explain you like how is the structure of the second conditional. In all the conditionals, we have like a basic structure. There is there is that we have, for example, we have a condition that is the first part of the sentence, and we have in the second part um, a result. For example, here we have, if my parents were alive, this is the condition, they will be very proud of me now. This is the result. And what is the structure in the affirmative way? For example, here we have to use the clause that is it, and then we use the subject that it will be my parents in this case. Then we use the past simple that we use the verb in past simple. In this case, it's were, and then the complement. Okay, then we use the comma. This is so important. And now the condition is structured by the subject that in this case is they. Then we have the modal verb that if we don't know what is a modal verb, it could be could, we have would, we have might, may. There are different of them. And we use these modal verbs when we want to express like a wish or ability or a possibility. Okay, in this case, we are using was. This is like the most common modal verb in the second conditional tense. Then we use the verb that we want to express. In this case, it's be. We use the verb in the infinitive way. And finally, we use the complement. In this case, it will be, if my parents were alive, they will be very proud of me now. In Spanish, it will be like, si mis padres estuvieran vivos, ellos estarían eh, orgullosos de mí ahora. Okay, this is it's important to know that we are talking about a present situation which is impossible. It's a hypothetical situation, and this is because the condition cannot be fulfilled because the parents of the person that is speaking in that phrase are not alive. They are dead. For that reason, it is impossible to happen. Okay, right now we have something important here that is when we use the subjunctive mood. This is because we need to use the verb to be, and when we use the verb to be in past with all the subjects like I, he, she, it, they, we, and I don't know, my parents, my girlfriend, my friend, all of them, we need to use were. We can use was. This is because we have a reason that we are using a subjunctive mood in this case. And maybe you don't know what is a subjunctive mood. A subjunctive mood is when we are expressing like a wish or a hypothetical situation that is unlikely to happen. For that, we need to use were all the time when we want to express this. For example, here we have, if I were not in debt, I will quit my job. Como si no estuviera endeudado, dejaría mi trabajo. In the other one, we have if he were taller, he will be accepted into the team. It will be like, si fuera más alto, sería aceptado en el equipo. This is not possible to happen because the person is not going to grow in that example. For that, we use where in both cases with all the pronouns. The next one, please. Okay, right now here we have like all the structures. Uh, Elizabeth, please the previous slide. Okay, okay. Here we have like all the structures of the second conditional. We have the affirmative, that is the first one, the negative, and the interrogative. Okay, I'm going to explain again the affirmative weight. And how I said before, we have a condition that is the first part, and we have a result. This is composed by a clause that is if, then we have the subject, we have like the verb that is in past simple, we have the complement that is if I have a car, si tuviera un carro, then we use the comma, this is important, and then with the result we use the subject that in this case is I, we use the modal verb that is would, and we use the verb that is in this case travel, and the complement that is everywhere. I will travel everywhere. Viajaría a todo lado. Si yo tuviera un carro, yo viajaría a todas partes. In the negative way, we need to change like this part because, for example, we use the clause that is if, then we use the pronouns, in this case I, and now we need to change like the verb in a negative way. How this is because in this case we are using the past simple. For that we need to use the auxiliary did. In this case with the contraction it will be didn't. For that it will be if I didn't have a car, si no tuviera un carro, and then we need to change like the modal verb in a negative way. It will be like would not, or it could be it with the contraction it will be wouldn't. It will be I wouldn't travel everywhere. Si no tuviera un carro, no viajaría a todas partes. This is the weight in the negative way. And finally, we have interrogative. In this case, we have to know that the condition, it will be the same, like in the affirmative way, if I had a car, but with the result, it will be changed because we need to write first or say first the modal verb that it will be would, and then the subject, the plus the verb and plus the complement. It will be will I travel everywhere? And we need to use the interrogative signs. It will be si tuviera un carro viajaría a todas partes. This is like the way how we can speak with this second conditional in the negative, interrogative, and affirmative way. The next one, please. Okay, this is like a tip or something important that we have to know with the second conditional in the negative way. You take this into account that is only in the negative way. When when we can use or we can change the clause if and use unless. It will be means a menos or a menos que. And if we use that, we need to know that the condition will be like in a we don't have to use negative weight in that part. For example, if we say that in a normal way with if, it will be if she weren't here, I wouldn't be happy. Si ella no estuviera aquí, yo no sería feliz. But in this case, we are using unless. It will be unless she were here, I wouldn't be happy. Yeah, you can know that in this part, we are not writing the verb were in negative because for that we are using unless she were here. But in the next part, that is the result, it will be the same that in a normal negative way. It will be I wouldn't be happy. And in Spanish, it will be a menos que ella estuviera aquí, yo no sería feliz. The next one, please. Okay, here we have this slide in that we are like, sorry. Okay, here we have this other slide in that we need like we have like other teeth that is important to know. That is that we were speaking about the main structure that is when we are speaking first with the condition and then the result. That is, if she were here, I will be happy. This is like the normal way. But there is other way that we can use. In this way, we can say first the result and then the condition. Okay, and it will be like, I will be happy if she were here. Yeah, in this case, we are saying first the result and then the condition, but it will be the same. It is not going to change. But there is something that is important that is in the second way, how we are saying that, we don't have to use the comma. Okay, with the first one, we use the comma to separate like the condition to the result, but in the other way, we don't have to use the comma. The next one. Okay, guys. Okay, before to explain this part, I want to know if maybe any one of you have a doubt about that I explained before, or is everything clear about it? I don't know. Okay, I think that everything is clear. Okay, now I need some volunteers to participate here, and that we are going to do is read the examples in English, and then we have to translate the examples in Spanish, in a literal Spanish. I don't know who wants to participate here. Maybe, I don't know, Brian, can you help me reading the first one?
Okay. If I won the lottery, I will travel around the world.
Yeah, that's correct. Can you translate that in Spanish?
Si yo me ganara la lotería, yo viajaría alrededor del mundo.
Yeah, that's correct. Excellent. Okay, the other one, I don't know who wants to help me. Maybe Jessica? Jessica, are you there? Can you help me with the second one? Okay, I don't know. Maybe Danny, can you read the second example?
Yes. In English and Spanish. In English, yes.
In English first, please. Yes.
Okay. If she had more free time, she will learn to play the guitar. Si ella tuviera más tiempo libre, ella aprendería a tocar la guitarra.
Yeah, that's correct. Thank you. Okay, with the third one, I don't know who wants to participate. There is a volunteer.
If we live in Canada, we will see snow every winter.
Okay, and now in Spanish.
Si viviéramos en Canadá, veríamos la nieve cada invierno.
Yeah, that's correct. Thank you. Okay, with the fourth one, I don't know, maybe Cynthia, can you help me reading that one?
Yes. If she didn't work so much, she will feel more relaxed. Si ella no trabajara tanto, ella se sentiría más relajada.
Thank you. That's correct. Okay. With the fight one, I don't know, maybe Heidi, can you help me? Heidi, are you there? Okay, maybe Claudia.
Can I help you?
Yes, of course. If you want.
If I had more time, I might start a YouTube channel. Si tuviera más tiempo, podría empezar un canal de YouTube.
Yeah, that's correct. In this part, okay, I need to say you that with the second conditional, we can use different modal verbs, like for example, my, would, we can use could or may, but the most common one is would. That is like when we want to express like a wish, something like that, because could is more to express like a possibility, the same like might. Okay, with this one, I don't know who wants to help me.
I can help you.
Okay, go ahead.
If I knew how to cook, I could make dinner for everyone.
And in Spanish?
Si supiera cocinar, haría la cena para todos.
Yeah, that's correct. Okay, and with the last one, who wants to participate? I don't know, maybe Brian again. Can you help me with the last one, please?
I will help you. He wouldn't learn anything unless he paid attention. Él no aprenderá nada a menos que preste atención.
Yeah, that's correct. Okay, thank you guys for helping with this exercise. Okay, let's continue with my next coworker. We are going to have some activities.
Jessica, could you please help me? Could you please help me with those activities, please? Sharing your screen. Excellent. Thank you very much.
Okay. We are going to match pairs. So in this activity, I need your help. Who want to participate? Someone. Maybe Brian. Guys.
If with the first one, if my mom weren't afraid, I don't know. Could you slide a little bit? You wouldn't be. No, sorry.
Podría ser ahí, she will pass the exam, ¿no?
No.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think so.
Okay.
If my mom weren't afraid, she will make us dinner.
No. Maybe if my mom were afraid, we will climb to the top of the mountain. I think.
We will climb to the top of the mountain.
Yes. The other.
What about the third one? If I could speak Chinese, what would you think that be the answer?
I think we will go to the pool if it weren't raining.
Yes.
But
Okay.
if I could speak Chinese, I will be his friend.
No.
I
don't-
think I will talk to him.
Yes.
If I weren't allergic, I will taste your cake.
I will adopt cat.
The next one.
If she knew the answer, she would pass the exam.
If you knew the answer,
If I live alone, I will adopt a cat.
If he were a better person, I would be his friend.
If Pierre had a better job, he would buy a car.
If he were a better person, I would be his friend. If you were more punctual, you wouldn't be fired.
So the last.
if Mary knew how to cook, what will be the answer?
She will make us dinner.
She will make us dinner. Excellent.
Okay. Jessica will continue with other activity, I think.
An escape room, right?
Hello everyone. Today we will play a game. The name of the game is Escape the Room. If I were the second conditional, okay. And this game had for a level. He will answer the multiple choices. Sorry, the question. In one open the question, and each question will use the second conditional. And if we answer the correct, I can go to the next level. And I, if we'll finish all the levels, we'll escape the room. Okay, let's start. The level number one, the secret identity. Okay, read the sentence and choose the correct answer. Okay, if I were the famous actor, I will. What is the answer? The A, B, C, D. What is the letter?
What will you think
D.
the answer is? Can you read it, please? Can you
If
read?
I were a famous actor, I would act in many movies.
Okay,
Okay, is the correct.
excellent.
Okay, the next, and the level number two, the fantasy word. Sorry, one moment. Okay, if I leave or mark, I will, I will,
B.
Needing
Need a
space.
spacesuit.
and you sped through it. Correct. The next level. The level number three, the memories for the day. Okay. If I have millions dollar, I will travel around the world, the traveling around the world, travel around the world. What is the letter?
C. Travel around the world.
Okay. Is the correct. Congratulations. Okay, the next. The level number four. And this is a finally. Okay, the chain. It's a trick. Sorry. If I were the bird, it were, what is the letter?
B. Fly
B.
high in the sky.
Fly high in the sky. Okay, excellent. And now the final level. Okay. Right. Bueno, right there. Okay. Right on the second conditional, the center is the correct. For example, if I were a bird, I will fly to the beach.
They must write. They must write a sentence.
Okay. Eh, Compañeros, en esta última oración vamos a poner en práctica pues lo que hemos aprendido a través de todo el curso, de toda la actividad que hemos estado realizando. Entonces, por favor, de forma oral, a través del speaking, por favor, participar creando algunas oraciones. For example, if I were a bird, I would fly to the beach. Jessica,
Jessica, go ahead.
If I were rich, I would buy a mansion and a Ferrari.
okay, thank you. The other?
Me.
Okay, Dani.
If I were rich, I would buy a house for my parents.
That's it. Thank you. And the other?
If I hadn't had my daughter, I will be in Canada as an au pair.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you for attention. Is congratulations. Your
Wait a
step.
minute. Wait a minute. Brian is asking for the
Okay,
time.
Brian.
Ok, una de las oraciones que creé sería, if I were rich, I would buy a house for my parents. Si fuera rico, compraría
Yo
una
la
casa para...
dije, yo la dije.
Ah, ok, ok,
The
ok.
Daniel
other,
already said it.
the other
Ok,
sentence.
otra. They will learn faster if they practice more. Aprendería más rápido si practicara más.
Excellent.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you for participation. You escaped the room.
Kayla, are you there?
Yes. Well, I'm going to share my screen.
Okay. And this is the final part of our meeting.
Are you seeing my
Yes.
screen? Yes. Okay.
Keep
Okay. Bear
watching
in
it.
mind the topic that we've been looking into. For the final activity, we are going to do a quiz. So, since the chat isn't available, please could you enter to the quizzes and enter this code?
Could you please let us know when you enter to the page, please?
Okay, we have 4 participants. Okay, anybody else? We have 5 participants. Elizabeth, could you please tell me if we are missing anyone?
Go on, Kayla.
Okay.
Okay, Liz is on fire. Danny is on fire too.
We're doing good.
What about now? Noon. You can do it. Don't give up.
Okay, let's see. None got the first place. Second, Catherine, and Danny the third. Okay, guys, thank you so much for participate in this game. I hope that you enjoyed our class.
Sorry, could you show me again the places of the winners to take the screenshot, please?
Okay, sure. Let me see if it let me.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, and this is all our class. I hope that you guys enjoyed. And thank you for giving us a little bit of your time being here. I don't know if my classmates want to say anything to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, guys.
Goodbye,
Thank
and thank
you.
you very much for
Bye.
being here with us.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you
Have a
guys for
nice
your
night.
And let us
participation.
know about your classes.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Hola chicos, buenas noches. Qué pena incomodar. ¿Ustedes comparten la grabación de la clase de casualidad?
Déjame que termine de grabar. Sirve un momento.
Y es porque precisamente entramos a esta clase con los compañeros para hacer el workshop con esta clase, entonces les agradezco.